Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. I wanted to do something really quick. Excuse me if you hear any background noises. There's just so much going on right now. But something that was just dropped in my spirit, and I think I've spoken about this. I touched on it very lightly on my other channel. It's called Big Sister 824, so you guys can check that out if you like. And over there, I talk about practical things. I talk with our teens, youth, as well as young adults. Anyone who wants to listen, we just talk about a little bit of this and that, from whatever books I'm reading to just ice cream I've tried to, everyday topics and any and everything that perhaps we may take for granted and think, oh, everybody knows that. So, from teaching girls how to take care of themselves, boys how to shower, and all that good stuff. And that's over there. So, please check it out if you like. But let me tell y'all something. We're going to talk about pornography and how it really depraves your mind. Because it's so sneaky that you won't realize it. It's easy to think it's normal. Sometimes people are saying, hey, it's safer to just pleasure yourself because, it's safer than trying to get with a stranger. It's safer than getting an STD. There's so many pros that they put on it, whether it's masturbation, pornography, and all these different things. But something I want to tell you about pornography that, I know I've spoken about it, and I wondered if you guys have thought about this before. The fact that the first thing that happens is that your mind is depraved. The first thing that you're going to get used to is seeing another person naked. The first thing that you get used to is, as a woman, looking on another woman's nakedness. The first thing that happens is looking on another man's nakedness as a woman. The first thing that happens with the guys, you get used to looking at another man naked. You look at his body, you're looking at his butt, you're looking at his sexual organ. You are looking at another man and you're not fazed by it. You're looking at a woman that may be your focus, her beautiful body or whatever, but you are used to seeing a woman naked. And there's something, guys, that depraves the mind, that makes it immediately cuts away at those boundaries that we should have for the respect of the human body, the privacy, the sacredness of nakedness. Just being able to look at a woman and just see her naked, it really, in my opinion, unleashes somewhat of an animalistic brute beast mindset. I think the same thing happens. Women, you just look, it's just any guy that's up there just walking around. You're looking at his butt, you're looking at his chest, you're looking at his organs sitting out. You're just used to looking at it. You're looking at another woman, her butt, her body. You're looking that, the camera is showing everything. And you're not realizing that something is immediately stripped from you when you're looking at the stuff. And that is those boundaries. Those are those parameters of what what really, that thin line between man and beast. Okay, that immediately goes out the window. And every time you're looking, you get used to it because you're focusing on the gratification of your body. You're focused on how it's making you feel, and not realizing that you have actually got to the point where you have normalized, as a man, looking on another man naked. You have normalized looking at another woman naked. We have normalized watching, people that's just doing all types of stuff. They're showing more and more stuff on television. If you're not careful, you think it's normal. It's not normal to see people interacting and having intercourse and watching the exchange and the fluids and the release and all that stuff, guys. What happens, why you get used to it and why you focus only on the pleasures, is because it reduces the mind to that of a brute beast. And, a lot of times, as a man, you say, no, I'm not looking at another guy, blah, 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 blah. I'm not this type of guy. But think about what you're doing. You may say you focus on the woman, but there's no way that you are not paying attention to what she may be doing to the man or what the man may be doing to the woman. You may say, hey, I'm just looking at the guy. But then you are not paying attention to the fact that you can't help but look all the way up another woman's behind, all the way up another woman's thigh. looking at certain things that's happening, guys. And while there may be some pleasure in it and it's considered normal, can't you see how the enemy will use that to actually deprave your mind and cause you to think it's normal by letting you think it's normal to sit and watch another naked man, to sit there as a man, as a young boy, as another woman sitting there watching her, where you are stripped from the shame or the discretion or the just the I would say just the respect, the honor, the dignity that we would have for ourselves to say, I'm not going to look on someone naked. I mean, you don't walk around your house like that. I mean, depending on your family, but for the most part, people don't. You're just not going to walk in and barge in and look at your mom or look at your sister. You don't just barge into your friend's house and see your mom's friend walking around naked or whatever. And so, guys, you have to see that something is slowly being stripped where it becomes normal. And in the meantime, you're getting 2 for 1. I'm not saying that if you as a man, you've seen another man naked, that automatically makes you attracted to the same sex. But you have to think there's something that's being unearthed here, because there's something in that whole scenario, watching another man, seeing his body, seeing all this stuff, giving another woman pleasure. There's something about sitting there watching another woman, her body, her nakedness, giving another man pleasure. And so there is a perversion that truly takes place. And that perversion, even though you as a woman may not be attracted to another woman, you as a man is not attracted to another man, there is an unsaid perversion that is there, what makes it easy for that man or that woman to sit there and watch and look at the nakedness of another without any sort of shame, without any sort of decorum, without any sort of sense of boundaries, to say, you know what, why am I looking at someone that's naked? Why am I watching 2 people doing this? If there was a peeping Tom in a neighborhood looking in someone's bedroom, watching a woman undressing or watching 2 people having intimate relations, they would go to jail and they'd be hauled off and they would be considered a pervert. But because it's done at home, because it's done in the privacy of the home and it's online, do you think it's any less perverted? Same thing. Same thing. So just something to think about, and to just realize how something that you may look at and think it's so innocent, it doesn't mean anything, how much it depraves the mind. And in depraving the mind, this is where people have problems, where if a man is married, a man or woman is married, they can't have, after a while, if they're just watching this so much, the only way that they can get excited is to either have to think of those naked images in their minds, the image of a man, an image of a woman, the image of 2 people having intercourse. That's the only way that they can really enjoy their husband or their wife. Or the only way that they can do this is to have pornography on and say, oh, this is just something to spice it up, when in fact it's something that they need to get what's the word? Oh yeah, stimulated. And so what happens, something occurs, because you may be at work and then you just get an urge. You have to go and masturbate. You have to go and watch pornography. You may have that stuff on your phone. There are people that might be during their lunch break, they're going to their car with, have a towel and all that stuff in their car, just so they can watch the stuff and just get released at work somewhere in the bushes. I mean, it's so funny. I'm this individual. If I see someone parked far away under a tree, I'm like, what is this person doing? And it's sad, because that's the society we live in, where that man could just be chilling and just doing what he needs to do. But there are actually people that they'll get in their vehicle and they're going, that perversion will get a hold of you, that it's no longer even a choice. It's like a urge. You have to do it. And because you're used to seeing someone naked and you're used to seeing someone doing certain things and looking upon the naked body, sometimes that can pervert the mind. That even when you see someone at work walking around, you begin to imagine what they look like underneath. You begin to look at their frame. You look at their silhouette, you're looking at that man's build, you're looking at how he looks, and you don't realize, because you're used to seeing men naked, you will you will have that same sort of perversion, and you'll be trying to imagine what this man who's fully clothed look like. You begin to look at his outline, and you can imagine what he looks like and what he's like, because you've seen perhaps someone of that same build naked in one of those shows. So just something to think about, guys, and just realize that the enemy is not nice. And everything he gives to us, even though it may seem pleasant, whatever it may be, whatever the sin may be, it always seems seems pleasurable. It always seems okay. It always seems like you're doing things on your term. But understand, there's something that you're losing. And with pornography, I am telling you what it does. It degrades the mind, and it brings you down to a certain level. It immediately strips you of any reservations you have. It strips you of your morals. It strips you of any values you've had. It strips you of any conviction that you have, and immediately said, you as a man, look upon this naked man, look upon this naked woman. It trains you to get used to looking at the butt, the legs, the thighs, the organs of another man, and you won't think anything other than focusing on getting your rocks off. Now, don't allow the enemy to do that any further. I know that sometimes that's addiction. There's a lot of things involved. Could be a lot of different things involved, but I want you to understand and see the deprivation, and see the change, and see the darkening of the mind that occurs, where all you think to yourself is, this is okay, this is fine. But would it really be okay in society? Would it really be okay for you to, would you be okay just a man just taking off his clothes right in front of you as another man, as a heterosexual male? Would you be okay with your friend just walking around, hey, let me go get something to drink, just dingling and dangling to the kitchen? Would you be okay with your female friend as a heterosexual female? She's just walking around. As females, we get a little more familiar with each other because we walk around, we're getting undressed or dressed, but I'm talking about just that line of crossing the line. Would you stay there? Your friend is laying on the bed, your female friend, with, and she's spreading herself east west. That would make you really uncomfortable as a woman. Like, yo, I'll talk to you later. So just think about the depravity of it, and not focus on the pleasure, but see what's truly happening, and why there's so many rapes, and why there's so many people, the lack of respect for relationships, the lack of the lack of respect for just boundaries, because we're in a society where everything's naked. Everything is sex, sex, sex. I mean, a woman could be advertising a hamburger, but she's in a bathing suit. We're getting to the point now, they're making lingerie instead of just putting it on a mannequin, or you can see that beautiful lingerie or whatever just laying out with a beautiful background. There is a woman that is just standing in panties and bras and turn around, and it's normal. But guys, it's really not. It's really not. It's normal for us to see a man we begin to normalize that, seeing men naked, seeing all types of different things. You're slowly being conditioned, and we have been conditioned, because when now you see someone on a billboard half naked on their hands on knees, and what is this person advertising? I don't know, a flashlight. And she has to be naked, going through the dark, crawling underneath the bed to look for something. And we are just like, oh, that's crazy. But that's as far as it will go. So I just want to talk about that, guys. I hope this makes some sense. I believe I've touched on this video before, or at least it was a thought that came to mind. But I wanted to share it with you. And, just see what your thoughts are on that. All right, guys.